And that's why I moved. That's why I come into a next side of the place that I can talk in peace. Nadine, I have moved. I respect the space. I don't say nothing to them.
Welcome to Biga TV. Like, share, subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you.
Wagwan viewers, wagwan subs. Hope you all having a blessed Sunday in the people. You see, pray. You know it's about Biga TV and I'm black again in the people. So viewers, today I'm there and you know I'm gonna share one topic with you in the people. You see, pray. Yeah man, no joke. So right now, it look like Andre Stevens to get put out. So people, right now it look like Andre Stevens nobody get the partner join the people. No joke. It look like him get some flour with a whole heap of weeble. But left that alone with the people. You see, pre, that never night. We just go show no one live with Andre Stevens. You see, pre, no joke. And people, to him matter, I know say, I put out him getting it. You see? Yeah, man, but him just try pretty up things. No joke. But we go make you see what the pre and make you see what going over there with Andre Stevens. You see it? No joke. So it look like the landlord come back for yeah, they see people. So it look like them tired of Andre Stevens and him bag a card. And people, me also have a voice note from the landlord. Is it? Him say Andre Stevenson, I carry beer false news and one bag of fraud. But left that alone people, watch out nevertheless. So we go just jump in the video and make you see what go along over there. And people, remember when you feel free for leaving the thoughts down in the comment section. Let me hear what you say.
And that's why I moved. That's why I come into a next side of the place that I can talk in peace. Nadine, I have moved. I respect the space. I don't say nothing to them. I make them go on. Morning, Jamaica. Let me do the roll call song again. Because this morning life going to be very hot. We're going to call out some of them for what them say. We know it's a sea salt. If we're going to have a fulsome discussion, the discussion must be live and direct. And I see a lot of them of recent are attacking my character and saying that I'm a scammer. How could I be a scammer and not have a Mark X or a functional vehicle for myself, my personal self? How can I be a scammer and live in house with other people and sharing places to be beaten up and attacked? How could I be a scammer and my business struggling like that? Grenada, big up. Come on, man. It is just the truth. Something is wrong. Because when you have an algorithm, you know, or when you have the laws of deductive and inductive reasoning, whereas X is X and whereas X is plus X, it means that there shall be a simultaneous equation. And you can't say somebody a scammer. And you can't say somebody not credible but the person that talk truth. And you can't say somebody a no scammer. And you can't say the person a talk lie. No, you can't say the person as no scammer. And you can't say the person not talk truth. But yet still the person have serious wealth, monies that are unquestionable. And somebody sent me this video this morning and I said to myself, I want Jamaica to hear this.
Long time. That if you want to, in a sense, eliminate corruption in a society, and we all want to eliminate corruption in a society, the most effective way to do it is to make sure you don't punish people at the bottom, you punish people at the top.
Whoa,
I'll tell you one story. In the 1960s, 1960s, when Singapore was a very poor country then, our per capita income was 500. 500 per capita income. 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 500 per capita inc A government minister was invited by a businessman to go on holiday. Just on holiday. No bride. He and his family went on holiday with a businessman. He came back, he was arrested, charged, went to jail. After that, no more corruption. Because it's very powerful signal that is sent when you go after someone to talk. So Singapore's experience, and it's actually quite remarkable how you have almost zero corruption in Singapore, is because we decided that the example must come from the top.
You hear what Singapore do? 1960 they were amongst the poorest country and Jamaica was amongst the richest. Singapore came here and adopted Jamaica's model. I hear what them say, when you want to fix corruption, you don't steal, you don't arrest those at the bottom, you go for those at the top. You hear what them say? A government minister went to a businessman house in the Christmas for Christmas dinner. So you know, say everything attack, you know, rum a drink, everything, you know. And when they come back, the government minister was arrested. So you don't know what that means. The man was a mole. The businessman was a mole. And Singapore is amongst Jamaica's, amongst the world's least corrupt nations in the world. And you have people here who see the fight, who were a part of the fight, who were part of the resistance. And because the very fact that we call them out on it, call out their inadequacies, what have they done? Them come take on my character and say that me a scammer, me not credible. But if the Jamaica media is so credible and the Jamaica media hasn't even taken on one thing that I'm saying, you think so the media host them now listen to me at their time? Me know media personalities that I would not give out their details who listens to me, that as I finish, they ask me some critical questions. And then I gather the story them, you know. No things the Jamaica media now watch what me I say, you know. Them I watch it. Think Dan Jackson Miller now watch? You think say Cliff Hughes now watch? Him can't talk because him know say him in a glass house. You think say RJR group now watch? You think say Observer now watch? Them just a be strategic. As them say international press come for me, because they're afraid. They're afraid to take on some issues here. Because they're heavily funded by some of these men and women, you know. So they can't talk against them. So they might put the arc, you think say a special journalist not assigned to my mission. You think they now watch? I don't really think they now watch, but I'm going to say to you. I see a particular man from Warwicker Hill, I'm going to call Karen Cross. You see, I'm going to find the cross today. If you see this, you know, me not have them a relic in my house. I get it. It was gifted to me by a friend. I don't know if the friend is Catholic, but it come in a one nice box. See it there? The blood that gives us strength. See it there? The blood. The blood. Too much corruption there. Too much corruption there. And the media is doing their part to make the corruption stay here. Hello. Jamaica is like a banana republic, you know. It is like a failed state, you know. But I'm going to call Karen Cross this morning. Because she said she want to ask some people some questions. And that's the purpose of this resistance, you know. We don't go and slander and rare like a lot of them. Somebody can tag Karen Cross.
Good morning, Andre. What's up?
Morning, Auntie Karen. Happy Saturday. How are you?
I am alright. Happy Saturday.
I have you on a live this morning on my Facebook. I'm just letting you know because
Why do things sound so low?
it's low because this phone it's not, but the people of Jamaica are hearing you, man.
What happened to the people? People, alright. Good morning, people of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm. Them good, man.
What's up? What is the Lord saying to you this morning?
Speak my truth and speak it wherever, cost it what it will. And
God will give you truth.
you know what is happening, Auntie Karen, is that I've been on a mission of truth, justice, equality, and fairness. Fairness. Right? And what I find is that we have some people in this world who join a resistance, and because the resistance has asked them some critical questions, which you as a field marshal is in your right to do, they become in their feelings. And then come say that I am a scammer, I'm incredible. Auntie Karen, can you speak to the character of Andre Stepehens this morning to Jamaica?
Well, is that only a character, you know? I would really like to speak to it if I can. So, to more than just that. You see, in this Black History Month, we think of Marcus Garvey and we think of Malcolm X and we think of how Paul Bogle walked from Stonygut to Spanish Town to demand the right to vote, and they refused to talk to him and him burned down the damn courthouse. That's one of my favorite stories in the course of Jamaica. How Bogle walked from Stonygut to demand some justice. They refused to give him that justice, and Bogle burned down the damn courthouse. And we need some more Bogle now. But the thing that bothers me about all of this is we're lonesome. It bothers me to the ends of the earth. And I saw so many videos and so many commentary on the whole matter. And it agitated me. So on behalf of the resistance, I thought that I need to set some things out here and set some things straight where we're lonesome and his utterances are concerned. Every time throughout history, it has never failed. Every time a Jamaican man or a Jamaican woman rise up to defend the Jamaican poor people, there is always one of that poor people in the midst of it all who get bought out by Bakramasa and start beating up the whole process. Every time, it has never failed. It's part of our history. It's part of our culture. It has happened. Now here is Wayne Lonesome, a guy who has been on his channel operating from Canada, doing a lot of good things, speaking out against the system, beating up on the oppressors, beating up on those who hold down and beat down poor people. Never was getting much views, heard about you, invited you onto the program. You rise up his program to a high level. He invited me on his program. His program began to get a lot of chatter because people went on. And then now, here is you, trying to feed poor people, trying to rise up the Jamaican people to start to defend themselves and speak for themselves and stand up for their rights and justice, leading the partner draw movement. And here is Wayne Lonesome trying to tear it down. One of those black poor people who come from a black poor community in Kingston and migrated to Canada and making a little life for himself. And instead of elevating and lifting up those who are trying to help others like him in commanding program to tear it down. Now we have to assess, why did he do that? Why does he feel a need to do that? He felt the need to do it because he said on Sunny Day's program when she interviewed him that he was going to ask Mark Golding some tough questions. He was going to be tough on him. He's going to ask him, he's going to hit him hard. Those are his words. Those are not our words or Sunny words. Those are his words. And what happened? Lo and behold, he got Mark Golding on his program. And the hardest question he asked Mark Golding was, how are you, sir? How you doing? Those are the hardest questions he asked. He never asked anything after that. And we know the resistance said to him, but Wayne Lonesome, you get the leader of the opposition on your program. You have been beating down the government, and I'm not defending the government at all. But you have been beating on the government. You asking questions like, where is the money that the government get for COVID? This government received a lot of money to fight COVID, you know. You know that, Andre?
We are all aware. And it's him tell the
money them get to fight COVID, you know.
Is the truth is him tell me how much money him know about.
Right. So the government get all this money for COVID and you beat up the government. Now if you're beating up the government, fine. But you equally have to hold accountable the leader of the opposition. That is how our two-party democratic system works. You beat the government and you said, where is it their money? Where's all that millions and millions and millions of dollars that you get to fight COVID? Why is the price of food, the simple, ordinary, staple food that poor people rely on, rice, chicken, oil, why are those prices so sky high? And you get money for COVID and you're not give nobody no money. And when you ask the government that, you must equally ask the opposition leader, where is your voice? Where is your stand on this? How can the government be getting away with that and you sit down there not even arguing on behalf of poor people?
Yes, true.
Those are the questions he should be asking the opposition leader. So we felt that he failed. He never asked those questions. I want to ask ourselves one question. Why? Why did you not do that? Why did Mr. Lonesome not ask Mark Golding, where is your voice? What is your plan for crime? Crime is getting out of hand. Well, crime has been out of hand from Wapi Kill Philip. But Mr. Golding, what is the opposition plan? Mr. Golding, why are you not holding Andrew Holmes accountable and ask him where's the money for COVID? Mr. Golding, where are you? Why are you hiding? Mr. Golding, there is possible money laundering going on with your partner, Peter Bunting, company proven possible. With all of that is going on, just get a banking license. All the dots are now connecting from Peter Bunting's challenge to Peter Phillips in 2019 till now. The whole thing has come full circle. Mr. Golding, this don't look good. Why did Wayne Lonesome not ask Mr. Golding those questions? Wayne Lonesome was there sucking up tobacco, Mr. Golding, and not asking him any question. And then you vex because we tell you that you never do a good job, because we feel that Golding and Dayton paid you to do that soft interview, and so you come out, want to debase the resistance, want to mash up the partner draw movement, want to mash up people's character because we call you out. So poor people have to look into this and have to say, well, if you get an opportunity to talk to the opposition leader and you didn't ask him the questions, the pertinent questions as it relates to poor people liberty, and you get an opportunity to ask him, you didn't ask him, and the resistance come out and call you out for it, and your reaction to our calling you out on it and our criticism is that you start to sully up the character of the only person who is now taking charge of poor people and talking to them and feeding them and giving them hope. You come out to beat up Andre Stepehens. You come out to fight and beat up the partner movement. You come out to fight and beat down the resistance. I'm just an ordinary member of the resistance, but the resistance is huge. So when you open your mouth against the resistance, you're licking up hundreds and thousands of people who are fighting this resistance. So you can't be a fighter for poor people and then taking the side of Bakrabasa to beat down for poor people. When we went downtown last week, Monday, Andre, because we didn't get to feed them on Sunday. We went down there on Monday. I would like the Jamaican people to know this. We spoke to I spoke to at least 4 gentlemen who lived in the United States for over 30 years. And they were deported for one reason or the other, right onto the streets of Kingston. It's as if they were lifted out of whatever jail they were being held in the United States, and they came here and they dropped them off at the airport, and the man them take them like a bag with them like a stuff and walk to downtown, and that's where they have been for the last 15, 20 years. Downtown on the sidewalk, in a little alley, trying to live, trying to eat, no family, no friends, nobody to talk to. You could have seen the face of Anthony, that maroon man, just to sit down there and have that conversation with us that day. And sometimes it's not just food they want. They want to tell you them story. Their stories are stories of blood. Their stories are stories of hardship. The stories that only our slave owners can relate to, because they were the one who create these conditions for people like Anthony to have no place to live, to be struggling right around the corner of Ward Theatre, sleep in a little alley, to have nothing to eat, to can't get a bath, can't take a shower because of his life. He was deported from the United States. That he went to the United States in 1973, Anthony said. And he came back in 96. They deported him in 96 straight to the streets of Kingston, and that's where he has been since then. And Wayne Lonesome want to mash up that. What's the matter with you, Wayne Lonesome, who come from outer Rockford, from a poor family background? What's wrong with you? Why are you trying to deprive poor people of a chance? Every time they did it to Marcus Garvey, they did it to every single black man. Every person that has risen up to defend poor people, there is always that traitor, that backstabbing, treacherous wretch in the midst, trying to mash it down. And that is what Wayne Lonesome doing. Him is a Judas. Judas betrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. I don't know how much Mark Golding and Dayton pay him for that interview. Because that is what we feel, Wayne Lonesome. That you got paid to do that interview, and when we call you out on it, you went after us, you came after us. Because we called you out on the interview. And we're not going to let you get away with it. Because poor people have to be fed. Do you know? You sit down around your little desk with your little mic. Do you know how many people downtown, right in front of Ward Theatre, at Peters Lane, at King Street, at Arbor Street, right at the corner of Port Royal Street? That's where they sleep. That's where they live. That's where they eat whatever they can find. And very few people, very few care about them. Very few go look for them and say, here is something to eat. Here is $500. How are you doing? Ask them something. Talk to them. Once you start talking to them talk as if people have not spoken to them for years.
True.
Because that is their life. People pass them, come. Them sit down in them little cardboard box. And them collect little food and somebody give them out. Nobody now hold the conversations with them.
True.
Nobody. One man down there, him got sick. Him got beaten up. Boy beat him up, bust up his head. Is that poor little lady? I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry, I can't remember.
From Mr. Oldness constituency.
She live in my constituency. She come from down that
Olympic way.
She is the one who catch at somebody place, she says, and she get up every day and she go downtown and she carry what she can and she help those who she can. When the man head get bust up, she fix him wound, she dress him wound, she carry a clean shirt for him, she did what she can. Those are the people that the oldest need to go look for and give them the job to feed poor people and look after homeless people. They want somewhere to live. And these people are not really. I mean, this man come from St. Elizabeth from him young. And family them move back to St. Elizabeth. In family they move back to St. Elizabeth and leave him. They all moved back to St. Elizabeth and they left him. You would have seen him and pass him there, go and come for days and weeks and months and years and don't know his story. Just standing there and listen to his story. That alone gave him a relief. You could see it on his face. You could see it on their faces when you listen to them, that they want to tell you what happened to them. They wanted to know, they want to share it. And they were not bashful about it. And then there was Winsome, the mad one, who got foreign. She got foreign now. She got foreign about 10 years. And she just want a bag now for back. So she got foreign.
And the one who wanted the corned beef.
Yeah. And then there is this comrade who worked for the PMP for years. Worked for the PMP for years and downtown begging. I could easily say that he was one of the persons that contributed greatly to the win in Agley Park Division. And the man out the road a beg. And the man lived in Mark Golding constituency. The man lived in Mark Golding constituency. And him out the road a beg. A man who contributed to his party and contributed to his country. I think he was a warden at one point, if my memory serves me right. And these are the people who are benefiting from the partner draw movement and what Andrew Stevens is doing. And these are the people that we have to look to help. And every time somebody in this country rise up to help poor people, there is always some damn nigger. Part of the damn poor people thing who come from poor people. Always. Because now I'm in a different position and I'm making that money and I'm on YouTube and going out with it and I'm always trying to fight down the damn thing. What's the matter with black people? What is the matter with black people? Why you want to beat up the thing and talking all kind of things, nasty bad things about the movement to help poor people? Nobody here not doing anything dishonest. I would have to defend that. Because I would never be a part of anything dishonest. So I would not going to defend that. What the partner draw movement does is to help people. And that is plain and simple. It is not a organized effort to do anything. It's just an effort to find some money and to get some food and to help some people. And we have to now look into the matter of finding simple medication like cough medicine and plaster and simple things to make sure that when you go there to feed them, you see a little cut. You have alcohol, you have things like that to help them. What is wrong with you? But the backside, I want to cuss racist, man. But what is wrong with you? Seriously. What is wrong with you? We are not some. Ask Mark Golding about him billions and billions of dollars that him have and how much of it is contributing to help poor people. There are some people on the streets who have family and come from his own constituency. The same thing with Mr. Holness. Go ask them that. We are known some if you are any kind of provocateur to help poor people. Go ask them that. Who helping poor people? Mark Golding is a billionaire at least 15 times over. What is he doing to help those poor people who walk out of his constituency every morning, every day, and go downtown, go hang out to beg or to get a meal because people might pass through and give them a meal. People walk out of South St. Andrew every day and do that. People walk out of Southwest St. Andrew, Angela Brumber constituency every day and do that. People walk out of West Central St. Andrew every day and do that. Walk out and go downtown, go hang out to get something to eat or get a money. And you are the members of parliament for these places. and nobody not helping them. And the partner drama movement, Andre Stepehens, start to feed poor people and help them. And you will lonesome, who get paid by Mark Golding, want to come mash it up? We're not going to allow you. Before we make it mash it up, we'll mash you down. Learn that. And we will not mince any words. And we will not hold back. So if I were you, will learn some, there is a way for redemption. There's a redemption for the encounter, but there's one for you. Start using your voice to help poor people and continue to contribute to the partner movement to help poor people. If you're not going to do that, shut the hell up. And we're not going to take no crap from you. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. And we're going to continue to support Andre in what he is doing to help deliver Jamaica.
Forward still. Forward still, Auntie Karen.
Huh?
I was saying to you, forward still.
That's right.
Forward still.
Because it is still Jehovah's will.
Yes.
We'll cut it out, man. We will also need to cut it out and stop. Because we're not going to stop coming at him. Even thinking we're going to allow him to mash up the border drama.
But you see, Auntie Karen, one of the things that...
You want to get up this Saturday morning with anybody who wants to get up this Saturday morning and go downtown and go on a market. We're going to go down a market. Go down the damn market, go down the market stuff and then come up. Because hardly anybody run a market up there. Just drive, go up and walk around to
Our
Street
theater.
and Armour Street and Royal Street. Just go around their place and drop off something, give somebody to eat. Drop off, give somebody to eat and stop chat crap. Do your part. That's it.
Thank you, Auntie Karen. But you see,
You're welcome, Papa.
thanks. I'm going to finish up soon.
All right, good.